the last 3 games. Definitely has some momentum here, this man.
This man doing very well for himself. Let's get into game number 6 as we have spawning down in the southern position as the Red Protoss, 1 game away from being a champion. Give it up for CJ herO. And up to the north, our blue Protoss, looking to keep his tournament hopes alive. Give it up for San.
San, the man who definitely always tries to get the better end of mind games very early on with some aggressive builds, sometimes very risky too. In the first 2 games, it was herO who tried for something that San definitely got the better end of. Does he try for something different here? Does he try to take the safe route himself here on Polo Knight? Because right now, what IdrA said previously, of San being a little bit too cheesy and having a harder time in the mid to late game is proving true.
Yeah.
It was against TheRogue as well. He lost a long game, he won the very quick games, and now versus Protoss, he's going the exact same way. In the very quick games where everything is played out early on, he does well, but as soon as you reach the mid game or late game, herO is always able to outdo him.
Indeed he is. And now we'll see if herO can carry that through to a 4-2 victory here at the Intel Extreme Masters Singapore. But this man is going to certainly rival that. Throws down his initial gas a little bit later actually here than herO's gas. A lot quite later. And takes the second one as well. So he's just going to even that up quite nicely considering the second one is a little bit earlier.
You see, this is why he does 3+1, because he starts 1 gas a lot earlier and he wants to saturate it as much as possible very early on. So he's going to do 3. And then when the second gas comes out, he does not want to put 2 in there immediately. And he does not want to go from 1 gas to another because they're really far apart.
Yeah, they are pretty far, man. That little probe, he could have mined a whole extra 4 or 8 gas before he even gets there. But now throws down the third in his core, as does herO. And second gas is already going down, but San moving out with a very, very quick probe to go for some scouting.
Yeah, the only player that's going to be putting some scouting in early on. I have to say, herO in almost all of his games, no matter what matchup, he does not scout early on. Versus Terran, he scouts with the mothership core, so it's quite late. And now here versus Protoss, he never scouted early, and he doesn't even scout for in-base proxy, which I guess in this game doesn't matter because he has buildings all over the place.
Yeah, herO now just gonna greet this probe and with a mothership core, in fact, and tell it to get out of there as quickly as possible, as we actually have a Stalker being added on for Sana and a second gateway. So it looks to be going up to that 3 Stalker mix here with the mothership core, and it's a potent mix. I really, really like it, but...
Plus a quick mothership core here by Sana. We might see a 3 gateway pressure, like he tried to go for before. But I think he was thinking about going for a proxy pylon here, but realized this might be found. So he hit his probe for some time, and now he anticipates that herO might have moved out. So he's going to send the probe back in and get a perfect scout of the entire base of herO. So as much as there's nothing to see just yet, he's going to know that, well, nothing was started, basically.
Yeah, he will. The Twilight Council's on the way here for him. And look at this herO. He actually chrono boosted his cybernetics core. The probe came in, the chrono booster dissipated. He waited until the probe had moved out of vision of it to then chrono boost it again.
And he's on 3 gateways. He's adding on 2 extra ones. He was going to throw down the Twilight, moved it. Okay, he's still going to go for it. So both players are going for the Twilight, but Sans is much earlier. And herO was able to spot it. So from there, we should be seeing a robo being thrown down by herO momentarily, knowing that it's either going to be Blink or a Dark Shrine. He might go for the confirmation on the Twilight as well, because this was not yet finished when he scouted. Could have been a cancel, but usually this late's not going to happen very often too.
Yeah, even adds on the robo here, does herO. Just to make sure that nothing crazy is going on. Very, very important to make sure you're well protected against this, especially when you're going Twilight Council yourself, right? You absolutely need the detection in one form or another. Oh,
look at that game sense. herO is going to scout for proxy pylons on the bottom right-hand side, and he finds one. Sad does not see it because he didn't have the vision in range. And that Dark Shrine for herO, I told you it was going to happen. And it's happening now.
A big, big tell for herO to be able to deal with what we're seeing here from San in Game 6. That Dark Shrine now on the way as well. San needs to know about this, but he's getting his own robo facility as well.
And I think the pylon earlier of San was surely was able to see the probe at some point. No, didn't he go back down here? If herO was able to hide this the whole time and proxy the pylon here, this is going to get very, very, very quickly into the base of San, who's making a robo right now, but hasn't blocked his ramp and might not be able to get an observer on time. this is actually very well executed build here by herO. A Dark Shrine takes 100 seconds to make, and a Pylon takes 25 seconds. So you start it when your Dark Shrine is about 3/4 through done. herO gets it just a little bit before that, and very well hidden behind some bushes.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a Zealot on Zealot action down to the bottom here, but at the same time now the Dark Shrine is about to complete, and herO's looking around, scouting out the forefront, seeing if those Dark Templars can get in, and he sees the Robo facility.
It's fortunate for Sam that he's going for Observer, but it looks like he might move out very, very soon. So his Observer is rallied in his main, which is obviously going to be good in detecting the Dark Templar, and he has the Mothership Core there as well. Okay, those... I think herO has to pull back. herO has to pull back when he sees this many Stalkers, but... Oh, they're going to go up the ramp. He does not see them just yet. He goes for the snipe on the probe, maybe. Did San just see that DT? I'm not...
If he doesn't go up, he knows. He saw with the hallucinated Phoenix that there was that Robo facility there. He doesn't want to commit any further.
And San's going to play it very safe. From there, he has to play quite passive, because you need to defend a minimum versus Dark Templars. Although, he could go for a second Observer, pressure with his Stalkers, and stay at home with just the Mothership Core and an Observer. It's still going to be pretty risky. He could take some damage. He will be repelled quite easily back at San's home because the third Immortal is already out.
Exactly. This is... He's been furiously chrono he's been furiously chrono boosting those Immortals out. 2 next side now start here. 1 for each player. And...
You know, he invested into a Dark Templar that didn't do any damage, so a good reflex to have is to warp in another one and make them into an Archon. And because he has already 3 Immortals, he's getting a 4th one. If he goes for a timing against this Blink Stalker tech of San, this could do so much. This could be great here for herO. But for now, he has to play defensively. He has to wait for the critical mass that he needs to fight this off.
Wow, he's going to have so many Immortals. He's going to have 4 Immortals very, very soon if he continues to chrono boost that one out. Forge is going down here for San. He's playing a little bit of a longer game. He knows he has Stalkers with Blink to keep his opponent contained, so he can start doing these little things like investing into upgrades.
Against this many Immortals, I do think that San is going to have to go into Charge Lots to be able to deal with this, but he chooses to go for Robo Bay. He wants to go for Colossus.
Oh, nice blink back here by San. He did end up losing one of the Stalkers. It's very difficult to blink against that many Immortals. 1 or 2, yeah, sure, that's okay. But if they start focus firing down these units, they fall very, very rapidly.
Oh, Dark Templar got into the main. The Observer is out of position. If this gets just 2 or 3 kills, he's gonna pay for himself.
Nice force field, very, very nice force field. That Dark Templar trying to wiggle on around, but the Observer is there, as well as the phone overcharge. Really good defense, considering it wasn't in position.
Good defense, but it was definitely worth it to go for this, killing 3 probes at this moment in the game when your opponent only has 30. Or even less, actually. Definitely good. And San with a 2 Walker lead, going to be transferring Walkers to his natural. He's chrono boosting his gates. He's going to go for a big attack.
Yeah, I thought herO was going to be able to, was going to be contained by San because he had Blink, but it doesn't look like that's the case, as now he's found a way to get all the way across the map. That's a lot of firepower here that herO has, as he now pushes forward. He has an Archon as well. The Zealots are going to tank a lot of this damage for the Immortals. He has to pull back, doesn't want to go too far into that base.
And Force Field is going to be useless because herO has 2 Archons at this point. I like the timing, but I think San should be able to micro well enough, pulling back behind the Nexus with the Photon Overcharge to hold this.
Doesn't want to go any further. San.
These Immortals are so dangerous. I think from there, San, he has to get only Zealots to be able to defend. And I think herO doesn't even wait for the Photon Overcharge to finish. The Observer is in the main.
This is very, very difficult here for San. He has to control this absolutely perfectly. The Zealots are still taking a lot of damage. He has no force fields either, so he can't keep any of this back. San now in army supply is dead even, really trying to deal with this as best he possibly can. But the 4 Immortals, will that one stay alive? Yes, it does. They're still there.
He barely holds for now, but behind this, he has to get more Immortals. He cannot start Colossus production. And herO is gonna say, you know what? I've done a ton of damage. I'm probably a few walkers ahead. He's actually 10 walkers ahead. He's gonna be pulling back. He knows he's gained the lead here. He does not want to throw the game away. This could be match point here for him. So he's gonna get a War Prism behind this, get his own Forge to catch up on upgrades, take 2 gases on his expansion. And I love that decision, to be honest, because San, he was probably gonna start to get enough Immortals to hold this quite comfortably. And with the Zealots in support to tank and the Blink Stalkers, he was probably going to start doing well against this, as herO could not reinforce close enough to the fight to make it work.
The fact that herO, during all of that, was 10 probes up and is now still... Well, he's going to catch that for a second, and then it does retreat to the high ground. Thus, San is unable to really do too much, as well as the army. And he even found the pylons. This is a really good pickup here for San to try and start mounting some kind of recovery. He really doesn't want any more Dark Templars to be warped in and then hitting him whilst he's moving out, for example.
And San's +1 finished as herO started, so that's going to be definitely good for him. He leaves actually 1 cannon in the middle line of his main, which is good for defense. San now has 1 single Colossus. If he moves across the map and goes for a timing, it's actually going to be pretty hard for herO to hold, but this Immortal Archon army, he's going to do very well in open spaces. Ooh.
5 extra gateways for herO. 5 extra gateways to reinforce at the front.
If you play with this style, with the Immortal Archon and Zealot, you're going to have a lot of gateways to defend against this. San, it looks like he wants to go for a timing here. He stopped pro production for some time, now he started it again, but he's full boosting out his gateways.
He's continuing to chase. He was trying to get that Immortal. Whoa, you have to be careful about blinking straight forwards into Immortals. They will kill
Charge
you.
is on the way, but it's not going to finish on time before this fight begins. But herO, with 3 gateways finishing, he's going to have a good shot at holding, and if he holds this, I think he wins.
He's going to have a lot of units, but he hallucinates one of the Colossi because he realizes that his opponent has quite a lot here to do a lot of damage with. That one Archon moves on forwards. Army supplies 40 to 42, now evening out 40-40 apiece. This is very, very close, very tense. That charge finishing is going to be fantastic for him.
herO is 12 workers ahead. If San does not make something happen now, herO surely he's gonna gain a huge lead in army, and that's never good when it happens in mirror matches. San, he has to go for a huge attack here. He has to commit to this.
And herO feels as comfortable as enough as to throw down Templar Archives during all of this. He's gonna go over there across the map with the Warp Prism. There's really no units to deal with that.
Because he has charge lots, he needs to make only Zealots at this point, because his gateways are gonna recharge faster.
He's gonna go for the fight here as those 2 Immortals as well as the Colossi. Not gonna hold on too long for San, as herO will end up pushing this back. Is he on the verge of winning the Intel Extreme Masters? The Immortals close the gap. He's gonna push this away once again. Army supplies now 50 army supply to 30. The Warp Prism in. What is he actually doing? He's got 1 or 2 Zealots there to harass as well. So San has to do damage or he's going to die.
And it looks as if herO might have enough. Here he goes for the fight. He feels confident enough. He wants to finish this game. He wants to be the Extreme Master Singapore champion. And San keeps on pulling back without time warp here. It's just not happening for San.
It's too much. It's too much. San has to make a decision. He has to either go or die. But at the same time, it's too much of an army. His natural is being harassed. The Immortals close the gap. They kill the Colossus. So much of the damage goes. GG! Ladies and gentlemen, herO, CJ enters his herO is your Intel Extreme Masters Singapore champion.
The Smiling Assassin coming back with 4-2-2. Very impressive in these grand finals.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for CJ herO! What a performance.